Well, let's be honest. Most people hate making changes. We have a love-hate relationship with personal changes. Sure, they'd love to be slimmer, healthier, wealthier, perhaps have a better love life, and much more. Be more successful, but leaving it for tomorrow and grabbing another beer and chips feels so much better and is so much easier than a resolute effort. Yes, transformation takes commitment. We're going to give you the opportunity to examine yourself a little bit in 3 very important areas. But first, consider what Henry Ford said decades ago that is still an absolute eternal truth. He made the statement, "If you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got." Well, in this brief video, I am not going to hold back. Transformation. Are you prepared to change? Are you willing to make a commitment to excellence? Well, there's 3 primary areas you're going to have to consider, and you may not like what I hear. But listen up, and let's see how your response is. 1, you must be disciplined. Number 2, you must take personal responsibility. Who, me? And 3rd, you must be willing to change your current habits. But Robert, I'm different and you don't understand. Well, we'll see about that. When it comes to making changes, seeing improvements in your life, it's so much easier to lay it off on other people, your partner, your boss, your kids, your job. I don't have time. No, I you know what? Tomorrow is a better day for me. Let's take a look at that. If you want lasting change, here are some examples of a person who's committed. Would you get up at 6 a.m. to read, study, and meditate? Ha! I get up at 9 o'clock, and that's the way I am. You see, I'm fill in the blank. And I have to learn to love myself and accept myself the way I am. Another example. I know what I should do, but it's too much work. Yeah, maybe tomorrow's a better day to get started. Do you agree with the above quote? People love change when it's about changing others. People hate change when it's about changing themselves. How do you personally feel about that? Do you think it's worth the effort to put in the time and the focused concentration necessary along with the commitment to actually transform your life and achieve your goals? Most would agree at the very center of all achievement is personal growth. What are you currently doing to actually make those changes in your life? I think we can all agree that the truth is nothing will change for you if you just like the idea or acknowledge it sounds good, but don't begin and then stick to your self-promise by just doing what is necessary. Growth and transformation require changes. Following are some ideas you can put to work for yourself to take personal responsibility, be more disciplined, and begin to change your habits because, as we know, you create your habits and your habits will create you. Now, most of you might know by now that my work is primarily concerning using the power of your imagination, the power of a determined desire that you want to accomplish and how you can get there through focus. And it's primarily based on teacher Neville Goddard. So I teach how to manifest. Let's take some thoughts from Neville Goddard concerning one of the things that you can do to make those changes in your life. Stay with me to the end because I'm going to be making this practical for you. One of his most amazing books is called Out of This World. And from chapter 1, Thinking Fourth Dimensionally, notice what Neville states therein. The habit of seeing only that which our senses permit renders us totally blind to what we otherwise could see. To cultivate the faculty of seeing the invisible, we should often, deliberately, disentangle our minds from the evidence of the senses and focus our attention on an invisible state, mentally feeling it and sensing it until it has all the distinctness of reality. Earnest, concentrated thought, focused in a particular direction, shuts out other sensations and causes them to disappear. We have but to concentrate on the state desired in order to see it. The habit of withdrawing attention from the region of sensation and concentrating it on the invisible develops our spiritual outlook and enables us to penetrate beyond the world of sense and to see that which is invisible. We are reminded here that we need to cultivate the faculty of seeing the invisible often. And notice how he says it so succinctly. You have to deliberately disentangle your mind from the evidence of your senses and focus your attention on what you want to focus on, your goal. Yes, at this time it might be invisible. It's not yours yet. And yet, through the power of imagination and meditation, of which I have 3 outstanding videos on my channel for you to examine about how this process works, you need to set aside time to disentangle your mind and focus on that goal. So if you always do what you've always done and it's not working for you, it's not producing results, you'll always get what you've always got. So there has to be a change. Are you prepared to do that? If you take those actions, remember, you will see transformation. So whether you do your meditation and your focused attention is placed on your goal in the morning, may not be at 6 a.m., even if it is at 9 a.m., whatever time of day, or do you do it several times in smaller bites during the day? Is your preference doing this meditation at night before sleeping? Neville talks about that, bringing it into your subconscious by meditating on it and having it be your final thoughts as you drift off to sleep, as your goal already accomplished. It has to be often, it has to be deliberate, and it has to be really systematically done on a regular basis to have effect. As Neville clarifies further, through the faithful, systematic cultivation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled, desire becomes the promise of its own fulfillment. But this needs to become a habit. And so the first few mornings or when you first start doing this, your body and your mind might rebel and say, you know what, maybe I should just do it later. No. If you take personal responsibility, now is always the best time, and regularity is where you see changes, just as with an exercise program or anything else. Developing a skill has to be practiced, and it has to be done on a regular basis. Further emphasis is found in the Power of Awareness, Chapter 22. Your assumption to be effective cannot be a single isolated act. It must be a maintained attitude of the wish fulfilled. And that maintained attitude gets you there so that you think from your wish instead of thinking about your wish. It is aided by assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled frequently, or as we've already stated, often. It is the frequency, not the length of time, that makes it natural. That to which you constantly return constitutes your truest self, the one that you want to transform into, the life that you want to have. Yes, frequent occupation of the feeling of the wish fulfilled through disciplining, through personal responsibility, and doing what is necessary shows that you are ready and you are prepared to make those changes. Thank you so much for watching, and please like and comment and click on the videos above if you are ready to start your journey to transformation.